Hello, morning everybody. How are you? So we're having another bass trip today. Sort of the first bait trip of the spring, or it's not really summer, is it? As they're calling it summer, but I mean I call this sort of May sort of time spring still. It's still very sort of slow at the minute. There's a few crabs about. Few fish are being caught on lugworm. So that's what we've got today. We dug some yesterday, and we're going very light today. So it's just a very short session. We've got about 4 hours until low water, so we're just gonna stroll up to the spot. Just going very light. I've just got one rod, and we're just gonna try and get one like that. And we're not going to be casting very far out. I'm going to be probably casting about 30 yards out, something like that. I've already had a look on the webcam, so I can see what the sea state is doing. So it's definitely fishable. And you know, some people have had some good bass. Some people have had bass to nearly £6. I don't know where from. They usually keep it quite quiet, sort of thing. Give a little code name of where it actually is. But if you just go to your usual sort of spots where you've caught bass, there's no reason why a good one couldn't sort of be there. So I wouldn't change, you know, your spots too much where you've had a few fish. That's all I would say. But isn't it beautiful? Sometimes I think I turn up to fishing, and it's not always about the fishing and just being in a rush, driving, walking up to your spot, quickly rigging up. And sometimes I think you just got to slow it down a little bit and have a look round and just realise how beautiful it really is. Even if you have 10 and 15 minutes just to sort of soak it all up. But wow, what a beautiful day. Rightio, that's enough of me rambling on. Next video will probably be just when we're on the beach. I'll show you the rig and show you a bit of the bait, and hopefully we'll get a fish. All right, see you guys. So here we are. So we're looking to sort of cast about 30 yards or so, not too far. So I'll set the brakes just right. Roll rod on, classic sort of beach rod, about 12 foot, 12'6". This is the bait, just lug. 2 hooks in there, it's a size 1, there's a 1.0 up there. 2 lug on there. Shock leader on there, don't need all that shock leader, but now there is some rough ground just over here. Tide's ebbing this way, so we're looking to get the bait up here, and then the scent comes back this way like that. So see how we go. I'm a little bit close to the reef, so you can lose your gear. So it's failing that. If I do, I'll have to just move up about 50 yards. So I'm probably right on the edge. So what I can do, I can cast up this way, you know, when you make a judgment like that, and then you just sort of see if you can get your gear back or whatever. But no, that's pretty much it. And give it a cast. We'll set the brakes on there, and that's it. Just one rod, and we're keeping it simple like that. All right, I'll be back. All right, so let's give it a heat then. First cast, I always trying to go too crazy. The brakes are set just right, really. So you got to do a special cast for this sort of fishing. Just an overhead lob will do. You don't want to get your feet wet straight away. So I want to whack it at an angle. I think I'm going to wind up a bit more line because I've got a bit too much up just for an overhead chuck. You don't want too much line out. We're looking for about 30 yards, that's all we want. Just give it a stiff choke there like that. And that'll do. That's about right, but what my concern is, I may have put that right on a reef, but the trouble is when the water's mucky, you can't always see what is what. But what you want to do, it's a nice line. There's £15 Dawia tournament. So you don't need a fancy bass rod really. You just need a beach caster. But what we'll do, put it in there like that, a little bit of resistance, and that's it. And the thing with this, so you can see it up there. It's looking for the old bass. Got a bit of a bow in the line there. Rod's nice and high up, the line's nice and high up away from the waves. Let a little bit of line out there. I like a little bit of a bow in there. I like it sort of. Let's sort itself out. Tide's going this way. And what you can do, if you don't get a drop back, you get a real good lunge forward on a good bass. Sometimes on just a single rod rest, it's difficult to get the rod out when it's all under pressure and the fish is kicking, moving away. What you can do, don't worry about any of that. You just literally grab hold of the aluminium and just pull it out of the ground. That releases the rod and everything. So you need to move the rod quickly down to the beach because the fish is sort of taken off. But that's only happened once in my bass career. So, but that's what can happen. 6 3/4 that one. Yeah, many moons ago. But it's a chance of a, you know, I mean, any bass is nice really. Proves you're sort of doing it well. The rod's nice and high up here. Just good. Just keeps it out of that first sort of wave. Keeps the rod tip stationary. Even if the rod tip's getting twanged a bit, you can still tell whether the fish has got all your bait or not. But the question is here: are we going to get a gear back? We will see. Otherwise, we're going to be quickly tying on again. So you don't want to be losing your gear during bite time. So that's where you either play it safe and you go, you know, 50 to 100 yards in a sandy area, or you go where you think you can, you know. So I think we're all right. I think we're all right. But as the tide starts to ebb, you see these waves here, they're getting bigger and bigger. That's because there's a reef out there. So you want to be right on the edge of it. Failing that, I'll have to move up there 50 yards. But fine lines between success and failure. But we're here early enough, so if you are going to have any problems, it's always good to get here early. So if you do stuff up, you've got time to sort of, you know, sort yourself out. And when you've only got minimal sort of tackle, it's not a big upheaval just to move up 50 yards. There you have it. Bung him on. Size 1. Size 1. We got the gear back, so I think I'm in the right spot. Little diddy one there. Good one. Just get that angle. Right, so far so good. Tide's ebbing away. Moving away quite quickly. It's not a big tide. So I say, if you're fishing weaker tides, I'd say rough ground is better. Rough ground, so Just leave it like that, I think. So I know the rough ground's just over here. I'm just putting it at a bit of an angle just there, but we've got the gear back, so that's a good sign. There's a few pickers out there. Lovely day. Beautiful day. Beautiful. So we're not going with a lot of gear today. So usually something happens when I mess around. But we've got some very minimal gear, a couple of leads, leaders, hooks are in there, look, just minimal sort of gear. Just one rod. Come down with a lot of crap, and I sometimes find it's like if you turn up on a day where it's like minimal gear, it's just, you know, it's just better. It's just, you can bring a lot of gear down and have a crap session, and it's like, I find it's best to sort of tailor your gear down, especially with this bass fishing. Because then also, it's like if something's not right and you want to move to a different venue, you can quickly grab your gear and go, you know. If you've got all your beach buddy and you've got your big tackle box and you've got 2 rods and a tripod, and it can just tire you out, it really can. Try and sort of streamline it. But yeah, this rod's been around for a while. Nothing there, I don't think. Getting the gear back, that's an achievement. Spread the line. Crabbies out there. Slim feet. Oh, still a bit of lug on, a bit of weed there now. Oh dear. The dreaded weed is starting to appear. Yeah, that bait is fresh as, man. So what I'll do, I might just leave it on there and punch it up. It's got caught around that thing a bit. Wires are there. Let's quickly get this out there again. Just add a couple more onto it. What we got? Where's they all gone? Let's grab these ones. Get this hook out of the way. Slide it up there out of the way. That's alright. Bit of fresh on there. Bit of fresh. Plate wrapped in newspaper. I've got some chill pads underneath it. Got to keep lugworm really not freezing, but you've got to keep it as if it's like in a fridge, really. Otherwise they all go soggy. So just putting 2 good ones on there. Keep that there, just bunch that down, grab hold of the 1/0. Like, sometimes you can get them to take it and just grab the top of it, squeeze that down, wrap that around there a few times, and bring the hook down as much as you can. Like that. That's probably a bit too much. You don't want the hook to tangle like that. So if you bring it up a bit, so you've got the hook point clear, and that hook point's clear there as well. And we literally just make sure it's not tangled around the rod tip. Sort out the leader. Because you're not pelting it, it don't really matter what you do with the shock leader. What size you put it. Might be my old favourite. This way. Just punch it out. Like that. A bit further out that time. Some walkers are coming. The dreaded walkers. Nah, they're alright. Good old people. It's dogs, which are a pain in the ass. So, look at that rod there, like that bowed over a bit, so we'll just give it a bit of slack. It's a 5-ounce lead. Sorry, 6-ounce lead. And that's it, we're back in action. Got plenty of bait. So what we'll probably do on the next cast, we'll probably strip it right off and put a load of fresh on. And 2 hooks there. I have a bite. It's not very big. In fact, I think it's gone. I think they're crabs. Good price like that. Just dug into the bloody dug into the bottom, might be something there. Dogfish or something. Wow, look at that! Look at that! What about that then? See that? Now that is, oh, what is that? It's a big flounder. Oh, that's a place. Look at that. What a blessing. Look at that. Look at that. That is one. Look at that for a fucking face price. Wow, look at that. That's nice, isn't it? Let's get that one out there. I think that's a flounder. Knobbly bit there, I don't know. I don't know what that is. That's the cracker, that is. Beautiful. I'll put him back, I think. That's a place or not? That looks like a big place. It's got that bony bit there, look. Oh, I might have to keep that. I might have to keep that. I'm gonna have to keep that, I think. What a start. Let's get it out there again. Let's get it out there again. Size 1 hook. So keep all that on there. cannot beat fresh lugworm. You just cannot beat it. Cannot beat it. It's as simple as. So let's just drag this shit off. From experience, that's a good omen. Still got the best bit of the tide to go yet. Just cannot explain. Fresh lugworm is such a good bait. It's like my experience, that is the best bait ever. Peeler crab takes some beating, I must admit. Let's get out of there. Let's get out of there. I think next time I'll let him have it a bit longer because he was just barely hooked. That's incredible. Good fish. They're biting. Biting. So whether that's a flounder or a place, that'll still be bloody nice. You do get some places, it's got more spots than you think. So we'll chuck him underneath. For that nice neck. For tea. Some chips. Quarry. Never mind. Sometimes they get off. Bugger. Bugger, bugger, bugger. Can't win them all. See, so it's not very mega tide, you see. If there's a bit more of a tide, you find they just like engulf the bait, but obviously there. Just going to change that bait over.
tiniest of dabs. And that, look at that, no bait on it. Look at that dab, look. Look at that. Oh, baby one. Right, let's put him back safely. Definitely dab. We're going to get wet, but I'm going to have to put the wind there, then you might be alright. Bugger all bait. Well, it's turned into an interesting one. Oh, I love spring. There we have it. Bass. Nice little bass. It's on the size 1. Stay there, my little spiky friend. Stay there. It's got him. Here's a nice little bass. Mission accomplished. That. That's why I get wet feet. He's away. He's away, find his way, he will. Where's the range as well? Here it is, just here. Just pick that up. Right. It's a different bite you get with the bass. Much livelier than the little ones, just a lot livelier the rod tip. It's just wait again. Definitely getting towards a good time. Breakers and stuff. Sea running there. Just need a bit of luck. Just need a bit of luck, a bit of lady luck. Another dab. Look at that. That would be a good tote bait. Dab that. Through his eye, unfortunately. Poor little thing. One-eyed dab. Ow. Poor little there's any bait on it at all. I don't think there's anything on it. There's 2 dabs, a flounder, I'd imagine that is, and a bass. That's not bad. All with 50 lug. That is not bad. It's not bad. That's going to be. Get another one out. Make sure the hook's not bent or still razor sharp. Camison. Pretty good ones. Right, so. Ow. I need a good bait up. That's what I need. Squeeze it up there. You know, that's where that top hook comes in handy. If you do get a little dab like that on there's no reason why a real good bass wouldn't just whoop that up. And obviously he's got the size 1 in his mouth, and that's where that top hook comes to save the day. You need a lot of luck, but that's the sort of thing you need. And it can happen. It used to happen years ago, catching cod off the beach. With whiting, you'd have a sort of another hook. Some little ones out. Smaller. Swag them. Let's get that down there. Like that, that's a good bait. Bass. There's some big ones around. No, but you just need a lot of luck. You can get there first and all that sort of stuff. So if you're fishing peeler crab, that just separates it. That's the only fish you're going to run into. But around here, getting hold of peeler crab it's still very early. So that's the bait we're going to get out. It's only a short cast as well. Let's just get it out there before we get wet feet. Let's just get it out there. I like walking back over there because I've got the rod nice and high, you see, because there's a good meter there on some of the waves. It's nice to have the line up high. Let's try that. Another little dab or something there. We'll just change the hook. I don't have a problem with them, but targeting bass, and they're coming on the size 1 a lot. So that's another dab. Small. Lovely fish. So I might just put a big bass would eat that. No sweat. He won't get off. It's Camison hooks, man. Jesus, a small little barb. Fuck it, they don't come on. Bloody hell. It's got it. It's got it. Back. Little dabs. Oh, he's got a little bit of bait there. Right, I might just change the hook. He says. The old saying goes, if it isn't broken, fix it. So what does he do? He goes and tries to fix it. But there's a lot of small flatfish getting on that size. He's lost a bit of his skin there. That's what we do. But it's just the bait has got to be so it's a 2 there. Just go, go for broke a bit, because then those small dabs won't get on there. So if there is like a 3-pounder out there or something, the dab's not on it, and well, he's trying to get on it. So it's sort of the camera there. This could be a mistake, but we've sort of gone sort of all-round fishing to sort of just really now targeting just this last chance saloon. Is there one there or not? It's that sort of a thing. Just tie it on. This wind is a bloody nuisance. Filming and everything, so you probably won't have to dub over it, I think. Hands are cold, can't even do the bloody knot. Far away from it and everything. Let's see what it looks like. Let's check your knots. Or nothing. Like I say, but we're getting to a stage in the tide where that is sort of, when you would expect them. How goes the broken? I plan on being here all day. We've had a good day anyway. On that fish, if you want a good fish, you just got to sort of focus on it more. Put this in close in, I think. Flatfish on a 2-0 hook, less likely, but it's got to be exposed. That one there, right? So that's just away. Put them away in there. In there. lead. Right, should I be really daring and just lob it like that? Short little cast. Try that. Try that. Just gonna get a nice table one for dinner. I know they're there. A whole bit of weed up there, which I can't seem to shake. That's nice fish. Oh, it's on the top hook. Look at that. Where's the bloody... What's in there? Oh, the top hook's got him, look. See that, what I was talking about? It's still there. It's like, bring it. The real wet. Right into that. That's good. That's the best. Let's get you back. It's not huge. £1.5. Bye bye, my man. Keep an eye on him. Let's go up there. Still running. Different when I first got here. It's getting near the bottom. This is a really good time. A really good time right now. If you look at the sea state there and what it's doing. How low it is and where the water has been today. So far that's been quite a good trip. We've had 3 dabs, 1 flounder slash place, it's probably a flounder, good sized one, and we've had 2 bass. And for me, the real good time is around now. We're sort of getting a bit low on bait, but I'm not too bothered. As long as you catch some fish, you know. But it's yeah, it's a nice way of fishing this, nice and light. It's just 1 rod, 1 little lightweight multiplier, little aluminium rod rest, some good quality bait, a little bag, a few bits and pieces in it, and that's it. None of this, or bringing everything down trolleys and all this sort of crap, and, you know. So good bait is number 1, and pick your location. Sea state. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. We're in. We've got a bass on there. He's picked up the lead. He's picked up the lead. What we got here? Is he off? That's a good boy. Careful, I know what we've got here. That's a good boy. He's picked up the lead. And he's just in the breakers there. It's quite a good fish, I think. That's quite a good fish. He picked up the lead. He's actually heading towards a bit rough. Oh he's off. No, he's not. Yes, he is. No, he's not. He's off. It's not a huge one, I don't think. No, he's off. That's just dropped off. Son of a bitch. Fucker. Reasonable fish too. Fuck, that don't happen often, dropping off like that. Yeah. That's all this bloody lino. Fucking bastard that is. Activity there. Little bit of activity. Get back there. Oh, I can't believe that fish dropped off. It's always the way though, you've got like these neap tides. They're sort of, the fish are definitely more, there's plenty of fish there, but they're finicker. That's how you pronounce it. That's where when there's a strong tide, that's it, bang, hookups are easy. But don't get me wrong, there's some fish there, but the bites are quite slow. That's a tide thing. The good thing on the neaps is usually not a lot of weed and stuff like that, but I was always told if you're going to fish smaller tides, crap tides as I call them, they reckon rough ground, or areas around rough ground. I suppose the fish don't need to go too far, I don't know. It's just such a big mystery. The whole thing is a mystery. But we all have to create our own formulas for it. Maybe that's what I should call this video. Bass fishing formula. Yeah, is a formula. So that with that good bite was now bugger all. We're approaching the bottom of the tide as well. Yeah. That could have been the last thing. And mind. So I'm packing up in a little while. I'm not staying too long, I'm just going to stay till virtually out of bait anyway, but just one more fish would have been nice. If we change the hook, we ended up getting a fish on the top hook. Incredible. Right, so we just finished the session. Oh, thanks for watching. Yeah, it's quite an unusual session, really. I say unusual, it doesn't surprise me. One thing I did notice about it, that we had a couple of bass bites, and reasonable sort of bass bites, they're definitely, and we lost them. They come off. And very rarely does that ever happen. When you're fishing bait with lugworm, they usually, the only thing I can put it down to is the tide. These are neap tides. These are tides I wouldn't usually fish. I happen to be on holiday, so I'm fishing them. I usually just go when the tides are out there roaring most for bass. And the bites and fish are generally just like bang, 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 they're on. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, so anyway, we had two bass. They weren't huge, but it's nice to get a couple. We had flounder / plaice, probably tastes the same. Had orange spots. I think it's more of a flounder than a plaice, but you'll see. Maybe one of you wants to just sort of chime in and just sort of, you know. It did have a little knobby bit as well.
But there's definitely more place around now, I would say. What else did we have? We had 3 dabs. I even removed the size 1 for the bass fishing at the bottom part of the tide, and I put on a 2.0 to sort of just, you know, and I was just dropping at 20 yards, and that was it. We fished a tide. Now, to run into the bigger fish, you know, and avoid different types of fish, bigger hooks and peeler crab, fresh peeler crab, not frozen, fresh, would be my recommendation. I have read if there's a lot of neap tides and you're about to fish on neap tides, rough ground is where you'd want to focus on. I don't know why that would be. This whole bass fishing is, I've been doing it for years and it's still a complete mystery. And it is really, if you live in an area where there is bass and there's different places to go, it really is quite a bit of a lottery whether you know, choosing one place over another. I generally just go on past experiences and how well I've done in the past and people who I know and what information I've collected off them over the years. So I don't stray from those to run into the good fish. Once you know a place that has the potential to throw up a good fish, that's where, you know, you want to focus your efforts on, really. But to be quite honest, that's quite an enjoyable session. Size 1 hook, pretty much caught all the fish. There was a 1.0 hook at the top on the Pennell, and that caught one of the bass in the top. You can tell that the way another common factor is that, you know, the fish are feeding a bit finicky to do with the neeps. It's the way the fish are hooked as well. There was not one of these fish was gut hooked. Now, if the tides were running fast, those fish would be gut hooked. They were all barely hooked. I'd lost a flatfish. I lost another flounder. The flounder I caught, he was barely hooked. The 2 bass I landed were barely hooked. Classic sign that they're sort of, what's